Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos. You all are the very best. So today we'll be talking about the devil's punch bowl. Yes, and also we'll be unfolding the atrocities, the evils that happened to your ancestors. And when this happened, I think diseases also broke out among themselves, which was smallpox. And they were begging, they were pleading, they were asking, please let us go. Let's get into this video. Do not click out so you get to learn and understand what happened in the Devil's Punch Bowl. Let's get into it.
Have you ever heard of the Devil's Punch Bowl, the concentration camp for freed slaves in Mississippi? After the Civil War ended, many freed slaves moved to Natchez, Mississippi, quickly growing their population from 10,000 to 100,000. This angered the white residents of Natchez so much that they joined together with the Union Army and took all of the freed slaves to a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It was basically a pit surrounded by natural bluffs, and then they put a wall around it, and no one was allowed out. It's said that about 20,000 freed slaves died there within a year of starvation, smallpox, and other diseases. They weren't even allowed to remove dead bodies. The Union Army told them that they had to bury them where they dropped. They also forced the men to do hard labor. The conditions were said to be so bad that a lot of the freed slaves were begging to go back to their plantations. The Devil's Punch Bowl is now known for being a peach grove, but a lot of the residents will not eat any of the peaches because it's fertilized with dead bodies. It's also said that when it rains, skeletal remains still wash up. I didn't know we had a concentration camp for freed slaves until my adult years, and I think it's really important that we all learn about these things, so I encourage you to look up the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi.
It's been from one evil to another, and all this happened to a particular set of people. And I am trying to imagine how, it is not how people die, but they suffer, the agony, the pain they went through before they died. And I want to say this. I see why a lot of Black Americans struggle. And now I know why. Now I see why, because I am getting to know things that happened around you. The struggles, the struggles did not start today, because most of the things you are supposed to be enjoying, most of the things you are supposed to be enjoying were taken away from your ancestors. Because if all these were not taken away, trust me, nobody would see your back. But still, you all are standing, you all are still finding path, I don't know, but still you are really moving forward. Now I really understand why the struggles. Now I really do understand. And I won't lie to you, I really do feel your pains. I am only seeing all the videos, all the things your ancestors went through and all that, and my heart is broken. Just a particular race, just a particular set of people going through all this. And you can see how many people that died within 1 year. And somebody wants to tell me that the government did not know about this, because from what I am saying, it was like they connived with the military, locked them up, they walk from day in, day out, and where anybody, if you die here, they are just going to bury you there and then continue like nothing happened. I really feel your pain. I feel your struggles. I can see why all the struggles. You can imagine if the things they took away from your ancestors, they did not. I am sure nobody would have seen your back. Still, they are still not seeing your back because they are still envious. They are still jealous. Even all the things they took away from you, from your ancestors, they are also looking for a way to take it from you. But I am really happy that you are smarter, you have known a lot, you have seen a lot, and now you are applying wisdom and all that. Anyways, let's get into the other videos and see what they have to say about the Devil's Punch Bowl.
Let's talk about the time the American government allowed tens of thousands of black people to die in concentration camps. Let's talk about the Devil's Punch Bowl. So the end of the Civil War is quickly approaching, and with the Emancipation Proclamation, thousands upon thousands of now free black people and escapees are roaming the South. And the city of Natchez, Mississippi was a hotbed for these black people to go to. The population quickly rising from 10,000 to over 100,000. The Union Army was occupying this area, and at the time they said, hey, let's deal with the influx of people by building concentration camps. They re-enslaved these people in about 3 concentration camps in the area that's now known as the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's called that because of the way it's shaped. It's a large cavernous pit with trees rounding the top. The men would do work all day while women and children were trapped behind walls. Over 20,000 and probably more black people died in these concentration camps from starvation and disease. That area is now surrounded by peach trees, and these trees are believed to be fertilized by the bodies of the 20,000 souls who thought they had freedom.
From southern plantations, trek northward in hopes of reaching a location of true freedom, but embittered soldiers, resentful that the people considered property were now free, had other plans. Researcher Paula Westbrook, who has extensively studied Devil's Punch Bowl, noted, when the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight. Unable to grapple with an instant population swell, the city turned to Union troops still lingering after the war to devise a merciless, impenitent solution. So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let them out. Former director of Natchez City Cemetery, Don Estes, explained, Devil's Punch Bowl is so named for a cavernous bowl-shaped gulch walled off by treetop cliffs. It was the perfect place in the heart of nature for the army to enslave people and carry out their regime of torture. The men were forced to undergo heavy labor throughout the day while the women and children were simply locked up behind the walls. Every slave man, woman, and child was starved and kept in the worst of hygiene conditions. The slaves died of torture by starvation and exhaustion. After the slaves were dead, the soldiers kept their bodies to rot inside the camps. They never cleared or buried the bodies. Instead, they provided inmates with shovels to bury their slave brothers and sisters inside the camp. They were told to bury them where they dropped. Such conditions, along with the camp's location and climate of the region, contributed to the outbreak of several diseases that infected and killed the slaves. One of the major diseases contributing to the fatality was smallpox. Estes said of the concentration camp prisoners, they were begging to get out. Turn me loose and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. Locals say human skeletons occasionally wash free from the location in times of heavy rains and flooding. Wild peach trees now dot the basin where human beings who believed they finally won freedom from slavery were tortured and died. And these peach trees are believed to be fertilized by their bodies. Like so much about the history of the United States, sadistic acts perpetrated by officials acting on behalf of the government have been deceitfully downplayed to lessen shame and facilitate collective memory loss. Whatever the full truth about Devil's Punch Bowl, it's a veritable guarantee no history book will be honest or thorough enough to shed light on the excruciating conditions similar to Nazi concentration camps. This is the Devil's Punch Bowl. Black problems, black issues.
The Devil's Punch Bowl, located in Natchez, Mississippi, is one of many concentration camps that African Americans.
I feel like the Devil's Punch Bowl concentration camp in Natchez, Mississippi has largely been erased from history to kind of pacify the racist horrors that go on in this country. After the Civil War, over 20,000 free black people were enslaved in a concentration camp in Mississippi. they funneled millions of black people into what they call contraband camps. Really, right after emancipation, they were rounding up free black people and just bringing them back onto camps to be used as forced labor again. In only 1 year of operation, 20,000 black people were killed in that concentration camp. The Union Army did not allow for dead bodies to be removed from the campsite. They just buried people where they fell down and died. And that resulted in a peach grove that exists today. Nobody eats those peaches. They're fertilized by dead bodies.
So have you ever heard of the Devil's Punch Bowl and why you should never eat any of the peaches that grow on the trees there? This is part 1, and I'm gonna let you know why. The Devil's Punch Bowl is located in Nanyacim, Mississippi. In 1865, when slavery was abolished, a lot of freed slaves migrated to the area. This made the population go from about 10,000 to about 100,000. And of course, you know who did not like it. So the state of Mississippi, as well as the government, devised a plan to enclose all of the newly freed slaves within the Devil's Punch Bowl, and they turned it into a concentration camp. These men, women, and children were not given food nor water, but they were still made to work. They also contracted many diseases, one of them being smallpox. Due to starvation and the various diseases that they contracted, over 20,000 men, women, and children died in this concentration camp, and none of them were given a proper burial. They were just given a shovel and told to bury the dead where they lie. Part 2 coming up.
I am really so sorry, man. I got so emotional, and I am thinking some people have their children with them, some maybe husband and wife with children, some maybe siblings in the same camp, right? And then you watch your brother or you watch your child die like that. And not just that, they were just given shovel to probably bury them. There was no proper funeral. And why am I talking about proper funeral when they have not even eaten? They have not eaten. They have not given them water. They have not I am talking about giving them proper burial. No, it is when you finish eating, then you think of how did the other person die and all that. And somebody is telling me that the government does not know about it or what. I mean, I have been hearing I have done so, but this particular one, and you can imagine 20,000 persons died in 1 year. I am sure it's more than that because I have never seen media give accurate number of something that happened. Yes, they always look for a way to reduce it. So this is to tell you that it was more than that. And nobody is talking about it till this very moment. They don't want you to know about CRT. They don't want you to know what happened to your ancestors. Just look at how they died. Just look at how they died. This is one of the worst I have seen. And I really don't know what to say, really. This is where I am going to end this video. Let me know. I am so sorry, guys, but see you all in my next video. Bye for now.